Hey everyone, it is February the 24th. Do you love a party? I do. I especially love a party when I know the person. I will say, probably what many people don't know about me is that I am an an introvert. You would think I'm an extrovert because I'm on stage, I teach online, and that naturally she would be an extrovert. I'm not. I'm an introvert. I love parties. I love to go to parties. I want to make sure I know somebody there. Otherwise, I just kind of sit and watch. But I do love a party. And we're going to talk today about living every day like it's a festival, like it's a celebration. God mandated 7 festivals for his people. And I put a link, at the bottom. I hope I did. I put a link down there, 7 festivals, to gotquestions.org that will break down just in in the simplest forms the different festivals and what each of them mean, what they do, all that kind of stuff. I don't want to take up our teaching time to go through those things, but I felt like it was valuable to me to look at it. So I thought it would be valuable to you. But these festivals were appointed times. They were called holy convocations. The theme for these festivals is interesting. I did not know this. The theme for the festivals is gratitude. Yeah, gratitude. Specifically, being grateful for God's display of mercy, kindness, and providential care for his children. So 7 times a year, or 7 different festivals, his people were commanded to have a party and to celebrate God's mercy, his kindness, and his providential care, and all that God had done for them. In fact, there's I put a quote down here at the end of today's lesson, Adam Clark. There's 2 quotes, and one I put here, and one on your notes, and one I didn't. And I really hadn't thought about reading this until I sat down and I looked at this. And I really think I need to read this. When we recollect or recount or recollect that we deserve nothing at his hands, and that the debt of gratitude is all the debt that we can pay, in it we should be cheerful, fervent, and frequent. All right? Those are great words. Write them down in your notes. This is what Adam Clark says about our gratitude. When we look at and survey all that God has done for us, his mercy, his kindness, and his providential care for us, the only thing that we could do to repay him is gratitude. Then we need to do it cheerfully, frequently, and fervently. With all the gusto, with every ounce of oomph we can. We need to be living grateful lives. What if we lived like every day was a festival? What if we lived like that? What if we woke up every morning with a cheerful and fervent and frequent recitation, praise, prayer of gratitude? How different would our day be? How different would our lives be? And step further, how different would those that communicate with us and those that we interact with, how different would those relationships be? I mean, I can tell you, I can be a grumpy Gus. I really can. I mean, I can thank God out of one side of my mouth and complain out of the next side of my mouth. And I love, honestly, that he put this mandated in here 7 times a year. So he wants them to be constantly in a state of gratitude. And don't forget this, gratitude. And before it's time to do a gratitude festival again. Don't forget what he's done. I could not help myself but walk through the definition of mercy, kindness, and provision or providential care. And defined them and put a Bible verse there because that's what I do. I find a verse for everything. Take some time. I'm not going to read them. Take some time to, number one, I feel like I have to. Now, maybe you don't, but I have to ask God to forgive me for not being grateful. Not being grateful, but not expressing the gratitude and blessing him with my gratitude. That's it. Not blessing him with my gratitude. So take a look at those verses. And then lastly, I just want to close out with this quote, the rest of this quote from Adam Clark. He says something about an ungrateful heart. And no one wants to be described with it as having an ungrateful heart. But that's really what we're living like when we don't live grateful, we're living ungrateful. He says this, an ungrateful heart is unfeeling, unloving, unbelieving, and disobedient. Reader, pray to God that he may deliver thee from its influence and its curse. What a great prayer for us today. God, please deliver us from the influence and curse of an ungrateful heart. And help us live each day as if it's a festival, celebrating you and all of your love, your mercy, your kindness, and your providential care. We'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.